Sathyachethana sir is a close friend of mine, and because his experience in this area. Paper So he was a space scientist, and imaging technology, he has done a great contribution. Then later he joined our PM's, Prime Minister's office. He was in the rank of DIG. He was deputy director there in the Manmohan Singh's time, because considering his contributions in imaging technology, satellite things. And later he took volunteer retirement because of his interest towards other social issues, spirituality, education, like that. And he has introduced several innovative technologies and innovative learning procedures. Like that, he has been traveling for the last several years across India and the world. And his intervention in education with innovative technologies and methodologies has attracted. He has trained 6 lakh teachers, 8 lakh students. We cannot imagine. And all through the Gulf, all the CBSE schools, their what is that? Their
Confederation.
Last 6 months he was in Gulf countries, giving training programs, innovative methodologies, learning methodologies like that. And he was associated with like this Gurukulam project. In Kodingallu, they experimented a project like the same pattern. And he was explaining, he was closely associated with his beginning, how it ended up because of impractical approaches. Then there is a Shobha Foundation, very great. And they invited him for 1.5 years. He was appointed as
CSR
consultant in their school. It's a great experiment. Students from the most poor background, they selected students and made them the most efficient, talented students. That way, he proved that by such educative methodologies and mechanisms and intervention, we can groom the students in such a way. That way, he has come in. He was a director of academic staff for several capacities. He has vast experimental knowledge. Therefore, he is, I think, most appropriate for our workshop, because that way his expertise lies in that way. Therefore, I feel that I have introduced all my, all our distinguished guests assembled here, and I thank Swami Atmananda, and I pray to my Almighty Guru, let this mission prosper, flourish, and emanate the whole world, because this humble mission with a great vision and courage Swami is initiating. And though we may be away, we should always be with Swami in this great task mission, because in modern times nobody has taken up synthesizing tradition and modernity. It is the mission, synthesizing. And there are Gurukulas in the Vedic chanting one way. It is not in the modern world, which is insufficient. Therefore, Swami thought we should amalgamate modern knowledge systems along with the traditional, our values and dharma. That way, an innovative experiment is going to take place in this Punya Bhumi, this great land. In my personal capacity and in all, as a group together, I pray to Almighty, my Guru, let this mission fulfill in its total, bloom in its totality.
Krishna Priya, as one more.
You want one more session? Yeah, I think I'll start from where you stopped. Hadayoga Pratipika says, Sharira Manaso Yoga, Paraspara Madhupajya, Akara Akeya Bhavena, Sathyachethana-Ashram. It explains the body and mind is such a level. So when you are in a hurry, or when you are in a hurry, or you eat more curry, definitely the oxygen content which you require will increase.
Yes.
So what would happen is your breathing rate changes.
Yes.
You don't require to run. A small tension is enough. I'm basically a psychotherapist.
Yes.
So when your tension increases, your breathing rate changes. So human 18 times. When you are in a normal peaceful mode while sleeping.
Yes.
Pranavana, Dhyanodhana, Samana, Me, Shuddhyanta. If you reach that level, 50. Basically, a normal person would be 20 to 50. But when you are in most of the time in today's world, people breathe 40 times
Per minute.
per minute. So what happens is his lifespan itself comes down.
Yes.
Sedentary bodies, as you said, 100 or 120 years. If 15 per minute
Yes.
is what is given to us.
That is actually given.
Yeah.
Like the battery given the effect.
But if you finish faster,
Yes.
definitely you will die faster.
He teaches
So-
this to us.
How to control this manas? All the Ashtanga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi cannot go to common man.
No.
So, directly mind control is impossible. Therefore, very
Yes.
difficult.
Yes.
Therefore, what is to be done? Control your breathing.
Yes.
Indirectly, the breath will tell your manas, I am not going to supply you oxygen, keep quiet.
But one thing.
So therefore, if it happens, when you are in a tension mode, if it happens, directly heart attack. That is why people in tension
Yes.
get heart attack and collapse.
But one
So I
thing.
have to train myself how to breathe in the pranayama mode so that the necessary comes at that necessary point of time I am taken care of it. So this is a practice what is to be done. So maybe everyone should have this pranayama, but not a Vedic channel.
No.
Because he has
Automatically.
Automatically. When I say pranavana, Dhyanodhana, Samana, Me, Shuddhyanta, Jami, Vatma, Vihasana, Swaha, Bhakman, Chatusra, only once I took
Yes.
Right? So nobody needs to
No, when the mantras
no
are written in
musicians,
such a
no
way,
teachers have to learn.
when the mantras are written in such a way that the long sentence when they chant, the prana they control. That's why I have told them that for Jagya people, those are chanting every day, no need. In ashram, our day begins the Vishnu Sahasrana. I told that Vishnu Sahasrana compulsory, I made it. Because when you are chanting with the Avishtu Chanda, Vishpan, Vishnu, Vasapikar, Bhuta, Bhaktan, Bhavat Prabhu, Bhuta, Bhuta, Bhava, Bhutatma, Bhavana, then only you are supposed to take a breath.
So
automatic pranayama.
instead of pranayama being taught, slokas have to be taught.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Continuous chant.
Yes. That's the best thing.
There is a
study.
So no pranayama for
Because
people.
immediately you know.
Just a paper published from already next to medical science. They did a 30-year study on the Gayatri Mantra. And then for 30,000 they published.
Yes.
And they showed that people who read the Gayatri Mantra in the control group, they have sufficient control over their life, sufficient control over their body, sufficient control over their lifestyle.
Yes.
And assume the teacher, I go to hundreds and thousands of teachers. I tell you, give me 350 LKG students. I will make them to keep silent for 6 hours every day. They will not talk. What happens is the teacher goes there, generally she or he or the LKG, they'll say, keep quiet, keep quiet. So what they are seeing is a person who is keep on talking. How can be somebody in silence when somebody is violent? So I keep saying, first teachers have to keep quiet. Yeah, that discipline is not the. Same teacher who was struggling with the keep quiet shouting. Next day I told them, as you reach the, do this to the first child. The first child will come and sit, the next child will come and see what's happening. Immediately they will not speak. And I did this most of the places. And maybe the first day the child enters, I've got a grandma child care center. That's my brand.
Yes.
In Kerala, I have got few schools where I only kept a camera and a projector. As the child cries, if they see the picture, they will keep quiet. The best method to get discipline is to show you all. No, I am recording what I am speaking because I know that I am conscious that I am being recorded and it is going to be on YouTube as it without editing. This is what I do for my 1,800 lectures. Therefore, I am careful on my words. See, every teacher has to be recorded. That will become a great asset.
That's what I was saying.
UGC has got a consortium for educational communication. That's what I learned my video day. 1 month course.
Okay.
I'm sure if teachers are being recorded, watched. We have got a method in the academic staff project when I was a director. Teachers' class has to be shown to teachers themselves.
Yeah, then they're conscious.
Then they will be conscious. So every class has to be like a recorded video
Yes.
program.
Yes.
So that English will become perfect.
Yes.
And I'm speaking now because I wrote all the points which I have to speak. I may not speak all of them, but I've selected few.
Yes.
As sir said, most of the students know answers and today's examination is true or false, yes or no, options. And you have only to write 1 or 2 words. That exam should stop. If somebody is to be tested from the knowledge what we gathered together today, everybody must be asked to write 5-page note on this today's conference and then submit.
Yes. The creative faculty.
If somebody can write it, we have learned it in the classroom, but only in English comprehension. Read a big story, write few. We have never done it in maths or physics or chemistry.
Yes.
I keep asking students who are PhDs from IIT, I interview them for an engineering college or a scientist post. What is gravity? They don't know what is gravity because they never seen dictionary meaning of gravity. It's an English word which they have learned. They understood, they know that, but they don't know really.
Yes. That information.
See, we take our knowledge for granted.
Yes.
I keep saying my best book in the world is dictionary.
Dictionary.
Best book in the world. For him.
If that maybe if I want to learn Sanskrit, dictionary, Sanskrit, that's it. Sir was explaining cha and which I used in my management lectures. I'm a management professor for some time. I said performance P is equal to, you must write down this. It's a point for you. Performance P is equal to, because it's my patent, you will not get anywhere. Performance P is equal to attitude A, which is your cha, plus skill plus opportunity. The skill is self-test. Opportunity is what others are keeping me testing. So any performance needs a attitude. It also needs a skill and also needs an opportunity. I know how to speak, but unless an opportunity is given, I cannot prove. Unless I practice myself, I cannot.
E is equal to
Performance is equal to
A plus S O.
A plus S plus O.
S plus O.
Okay. But this is my, you will not get it. It's my invention. So when you do this, how do you get the children to skill? That is where the discovery. There are different styles of learning. The learning styles in the pedagogy of education system. We have got apprentice style. You cannot teach somebody to repair a scooter by discovery. They will spoil it. Right? So you need to have an apprentice style. Open this, keep the screw there, use this nut, the bolt, all that have to be told. If it is not starting, remove the spark, see the, all that systematic has to be taught. There are deductive knowledge. Where our Puranas, Idihas are being told no discovery there. You cannot invent somebody there and put there and there.
Yes.
But we have to be told, and this story is for deducing this principle.
Deducing, yes.
So it's a deductive step. So there are different steps. The last step is mathematics, subject verb discovery. That's why every teacher what he does, he will give a question and look at the students and say, do you know this? It's allowing the students to think, but are they thinking? Because no teacher gives an opportunity to think. The question is given by teacher, answer is given to the students by the same teacher. So discovery will not work in the learning style. The creativity which is the Brahma is the God, is married to the education minister Saraswati because creativity and knowledge has to go together. Unless you have given a basic knowledge, creativity will not work.
Yes.
And everybody need not. Can I get a coffee cup which you have got a handle now?
So your ambition level is getting higher now?
No. I'm not going to ask for water. I want the cup only.
Yes, sir.
No coffee. To show you some experiment.
Yeah.
See, the creativity is, you are asking how to get this creativity. Creativity will come when you are with the creative people.
Yes. Only that
Right.
best way.
That need to be tested. And you have morning, Gobiji takes morning tea with a biscuit. How do you serve this with a biscuit? You need to use both hands, right? But you have always telephone in your hand. So how do you hold a biscuit? So this cup is not good. What can be done is we can give a pocket here
And keep the biscuit.
built in, keep the biscuit there. That's a new design. Why the cup has not come with a pocket? When the cup has white. Anybody can answer? Why the cup has not come with the innovative design? I teach design thinking to engineers. Now tell me how this design has not come. Many people want to answer this. I don't have time, so I will tell you this. If this cup can be only holded like this, if you hold it like this, the biscuit will fall.
You are giving $1 million business idea actually.
But then somebody comes with an idea, you can keep it in the bottom so that both will not work. But how do you know you will not doing it like this? You will not left or right. So this is not creativity. This is foolishness.
Yes.
So most of the creative people are foolish. Only out of 1,000, 1 or 2 becomes creative. That's why Newton also. You ask Kabir, you ask Mahatma Gandhi, you think about Vivekananda, Newton, take all the scientists. They were all good in their hands. They had some handwork in their life. Creativity is not making only inventions theory.
Yes.
They also work in home. Either they are good cook or they had handwork of stitching. Mahatma Gandhi was great because his hands were always busy. Look at my hand. This is not a scientist hand. I work in the field. I am an agriculturalist, basically from an agriculture. So I work in the field. I cook. I clean my house. Today's students are not creative because they are not made to work. So Gurukulam should have no servants. I contradict what sir says. While I was doing my PhD, I was asked to write all the papers for my guy. His classes I used to take. That is where I learned how to teach. He never teaches. He says, my class is the you go and teach. So all his classwork, where he stopped, I must learn up to that. Not sitting in his class. Got it? So I am covered with all the syllabus because we don't know which subject he will give me. Where he will give me. Whichever teacher is after, he will say go and teach because I am the junior most. So I am blessed with teaching different subjects and I am ready with all of them. I think every student have got hundreds of ability in them.
Yes.
That book I want. One of my poetry, which became a beautiful poetry. This is the story of my birth. I fought with millions of my unborn brothers and sisters. When the sperm from the father gets into the mother's egg, only one sperm takes birth, and that's me. How did I took birth? Because I raised for birth. And then I am the winner, defeating all my unborn brothers and sisters. Correct. Each one of us are winners in this world. Right? We have great capacity. What is not done is good opportunity, good mentors, good guide, good teachers,
And a place to show opportunity.
One Kavilya could make a great person. One Ramakrishna could make a Vivekananda. I am sure one good student is good enough from this ashram.
Yes.
You don't have to make hundreds and thousands of people in this world. One is good enough. they will prove, they will take the message. I keep asking question whether Ramakrishna is great or Vivekananda is great. I never got an answer.
No, but I know there is a statement which I have read where Vivekananda says that one Ramakrishna can make 100 Vivekanandas. 100 Vivekanandas together cannot make one Ramakrishna.
But poor Vivekananda could not make another Vivekananda. In biological sense, or in any sense, in the biological sense. Biology, I was associated with the Ramakrishna Math for 12 years. There was a Vivekananda Institute for Human Excellence. That's my colony, where I started morning till evening. I used to spend as a volunteer teaching different aspects. This is very easy to say, but creating leaders is the attitude which you imbibe in them by having a lot of people with similar attitude. That is what satsanga. And what we don't have is patience. Abhyasa enadu kaunteya. Those who are not there today, Vairagyam is not there, Abhyasam is also not there.
God has said first Abhyasa.
Yeah.
Without Abhyasa, Vairagya will never come. First is Abhyasa. Krishna could have said, Vairagya is a great Abhyasa, but he never said that. First he said Abhyasa enadu kaunteya, Vairagya is a great.
So I think people should get into not planning. Udyamam, Sahasam, Dhairyam, Buddhi, Shakti, Parakram.
This Abhyasena to Kontraya, Vairagena Cha.
That is also there. Both are required. Both are required.
But first is Abhyasa, the Abhyasa Vairagya will not come.
So people keep saying today, job is not there, lot of problem. I think those days have gone where job become a chance for people. Now job become a choice for people. I've got bright children who are not bright from the earlyhood, but after acquaintance, in 2 years, after B.Tech probably 17 to 18 best MNC companies in India, they got appointed. But I don't know how many of you know, the percentage of passing the best IITs, including all the engineering colleges, the average in India is 4%. 4%.
All colleges who appear for IIT, out of them, only 4% get through.
See, the same
Because of the limited seat.
No, see, that is not your base. Even if you get admitted in engineering college, the people who got admitted, 7% is the pass. First year is what they fail. Same first year maths, physics, chemistry. I taught all these subjects in engineering college. Same syllabus which you learn in plus 1, plus 2 is repeated, in which they fail. That is because plus 1, plus 2 education, we have got a different system of examination. When it comes to engineering, it's an applied engineering, applied physics, applied mathematics. Orientation is slightly changed. Okay. We teach, but we don't tell them where is it applied. Oh, okay. So the application part is lost. You will not be able to even appreciate. So anything which we do today, I think let it be either Veda, Upanishad, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, or Purana, Mahapurana, Veda, Upaveda, anything which we want, unless we tell where is it used. Why should I learn?
Yes.
The objective and the scope.
Yes.
Every textbook has got an objective and scope. We also have got the introduction part. Why should I learn? When should I learn? How should I learn? Who should learn? Who should not learn?
Yes.
All these have to be clearly. Objective and scope is not defined for learning. And none of our learning system said, because I am saying you believe. It is always said, you can ask question. Your Charvaka is given full freedom to ask even the Dharmavatra and say that you are unfit to become a king. Right? So if you don't have a logical questioning ability, I am sure this will not work. So logical reasoning is for every examination today. Every competitive exam, there is a logical reasoning. What is lost in our education system today is logical reasoning, which was existing in our Vedic knowledge. Everybody is asked to learn with the logic. So the logical reasoning is very, very, very essential. Yukti yukta upadeyam vajanam balakadavi anya pranavadatyajam apyuktam brahmakadam. Even Brahma comes and says don't believe. So we had this ability to ask questions. So Tarka Shastram.
So this is like in America we say critical thinking?
Yeah, critical. The same critical thinking we had strong in our belief. Just because your parents say light lamp, don't light, ask why.
America, this is strong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So where the yukti is very, very essential. That has to be put. 100% ask this question. And we don't have to teach everything. Lord Krishna also after Bhagavad Gita in Uttara Gita he said Ananya Shastram Bahu Vedidavyam Alpascha Kale Bahuvascha Vigram. You have got only a little time and you have a lot of trouble in this world today. Why do you want to finish learning by no, life is too long. If not this Janma, next Janma, rest you can learn. So you don't have to worry finishing everything syllabus. Say if not this Gurukula, next he will learn. He will learn. This is why Lord Krishna himself. See, Arjuna could not understand the Bhagavad Gita. And the last he says, because you said I will fight, I will forget everything. He said, then after the war there was a cup of tea meeting. A cocktail party was there. In which Arjuna said, why can't you put the next to that 4 cassettes again? Because Bhagavad Gita was already in cassette. You tell me all that again. He said, not required. Alpascha Kale Bahuvascha Vigram. Ananta Shastram Bahu Vedidavyam. So, Ivampu Misram. Like the swan which is drinking milk from the water, you must learn from the essence. So, what is losing today is we don't give the gist. Synopsis is not there for our education. Only for PhD we have synopsis. I think we should give the synopsis, best sloka, like a buffet dinner. You have got beautiful things kept. Not everything is kept there, right? You can taste each one of them and see which is your taste, and then go and take it. Yeah, that option should be.
Question.
Yeah.
Is it scientifically true that the swan can only drink milk?
No.
Because first time ever I saw 2 swans in a
No, it is
in a school in our university. Yeah, I never thought. How can you give the milk?
See, our science has become so foolish, and scientists have become so foolish sometimes. Corrupt. You know, I have heard explanation being said by a scientist. At the swan's beck there is a small chemical which makes the milk solidify and then it eats. You can make a fool of your science and then start explaining it. But what is science is not this fooling people.
Yeah,
So it is easy with science, people can be fooled, and many people do that. So I think we should stop doing it.
You have raised a very fundamental question, which is always also in my mind, and that दूध और पानी दोनों का अलग करे और कलाम the swan. Really, it cannot do. How the scriptures say it cannot do something.
The swan.
So that is only a logic.
It is called Let me tell you, it is called.
It only says that fast you must drink. See, that fast you have to be in learning. Before the milk gets mixed in water, take it.
No,
So you have to be very fast.
They are thinking of Gujarati. No, Gujarati milkmen, So I keep thinking that whenever you don't see, they put up water. they have to take decision.
I think this is the correct plan.
So you have to be very fast, and you must be discriminate ability.
Discrimination or these are affect Vastu Viveka.
That's what I'm saying.
Some person was Viveka. You have to apply discrimination.
Viveka Buddhi. If you have Viveka Buddhi, learning becomes easier. Otherwise, even in Google today, when you go and Google, you will see lakhs of sites. You don't know which one to take. That ability you have, you are like a swan. That is what I say. So I think the experiential learning.
Yes.
Like if the teacher is not experiencing, I am sure he will not be able to share it in that mode. So what is necessary is to experience learning, critically start thinking about what he knows, and then conceptualize and a visualization of what he learns. If that is not there, maybe you will chant Ekajame, Panchajame,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know this is arithmetic progression.
That's a good idea.
Visual.
Now the time is up for lunch.
But I thought only when your Uttar Pradesh is working, Madhya Pradesh will not react. Somebody is always in Madhya Pradesh.
Time schedule also. But what he said, Karuna Yati
Yes.
The mood is there, we can continue with that mood.
Because after that we can go to
Why is that like the lamp? But the certificate.
Can give the application?
No, I don't know what he told. Why we like the lamp or what happened?